Hello, welcome to Sid and Lola's podcast. I'm Jess.
And my name is Chloe. Welcome back for part 2.
You don't have to feed veg though. These are carnivores.
Yeah.
And this is the big argument. People are like, should they have them? Can they have them?
It's like,
when do I feed them? It's like, we're feeding carnivores at the end of the day. So as long as you have hit all of their nutrients with their meat, bone and offal, they don't have to have vegetables. I feed very little fruits and vegetables because Piper is very yeasty. His skin is very yeasty, his ears are very yeasty. And I find if I feed too much high sugar veg, it feeds the yeast and he gets itchy and he gets ear itchy.
You can smell it a little bit, can't you?
Yeah.
It's that sort of...
It's like a biscuity, cheesy, quavery smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Fausti. It's a fungus. It's fungus at the end of the day. So
it's like you were saying. It's like offering a salad to a wolf.
Yeah.
It's like, they're going to be like, what the heck are you giving me?
And that brings us on to this species appropriate. It's one of my favourite words, that species appropriate. It's fantastic because it's like, if I think I once heard Nick Thompson say, if somebody came to you and gave you say you ran a zoo and they gave you 3 animals to look after, but you knew nothing about these animals, how would you know what to feed them?
Yeah.
And all you have to do really is look at their anatomy and you'll work out, or where they come from, and you'll be able to work out what they survive on, what they eat. A giraffe, a cow.
You don't give a steak to a giraffe.
Exactly. A tiger, a lion. You can quite quickly tell what something should eat by their teeth, for example. So love this. We are omnivores, so we have flat molars and sharp incisors, so we can rip things off and then we can chomp them up and grind them down with our flat molars. Our jaws also go side to side, whereas carnivores, dogs, they have a hinge jaw, so it only goes up and down. They cannot grind. And they do not have flat molars. They have jagged molars for crunching bone, and then they have incisors at the front for tearing meat. So they tend to bite, tear, crunch, and then swallow.
Yeah.
So, again, it's very different action to what we would do, or what a cow would do. A cow would be chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing all day long.
You see the jaw going
and
around,
the jaws going side to side to side. So already you've got information about what your animal should be eating. Then it goes more technical. They have very high acidic stomachs. So they are designed for breaking down, raw meat and bone. They kill bacteria really well if they have a really good, healthy, high acid gut. And then they have a very short digestive tract. So everything they've digested, the body will use all the goodness and get rid of it quickly. So, it's very, very different to something like a cow.
Yeah.
So, yes, dogs can eat vegetables. Yes, there's nutritional value in it. Do they need it? Do they have to have it? No. Do they have to have meat? Yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, there are people out there that will feed a vegan diet to a dog. I disagree wholeheartedly. It's not for me.
All power to the vegans. If you yourself want to be a vegan,
absolutely.
It's your body. You do what you want. But I find it's unfair putting it on your pet.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, dogs are carnivores.
Dogs are carnivores, and it's and I've got friends that are vegans and they still raw feed their dogs because they know it's best for them.
Yeah.
And so our dogs have they have evolved.
Vegans, please don't come for us.
We love you.
We love you.
Dogs have evolved. They've become scavengers because that's survival. So they can eat a lot of stuff. But just because you can eat it doesn't mean that you should eat it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you will thrive on it. So you can survive on a pretty crap diet, but that doesn't mean you thrive on it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So I have lots of people that will say to me, but my dog ate crap brand, I'm not going to say it, and lived till he was 18 and never had any health issues. That's amazing. But there's also people that smoke till they're in their 90s. And, that's what you would call like the... it's not the rule, it's the
I don't know.
Come on, help me out here, read my mind.
I'm scanning.
It's just that yes, of course that can happen, but why would you invite disease and cancer and liver disease and kidney disease and all the rest of it? Surely you would try and prevent that by feeding a good diet. Yeah.
So living off the better food rather than just living on the make-do cheap food.
Do stuff that keeps your pet alive.
Yeah.
That's not, yeah.
It's like, it's just existing rather than growing, kind of thing. I see what you mean.
So, so your general rule for raw feeding a puppy, it is all really slightly dog dependent and breed dependent because of their size, but you're feeding a growing animal, so they will roughly have 4 to 6, so from about 6 weeks old roughly, they will have about 4 to 6% of their body weight per day in food. And then as they grow, they will then start to come down to maybe 3% of their body weight, and then once they're adults, almost go down to about 2% of their body weight per day.
Because that was going to be one of my questions. So when you get your puppy, obviously you give them puppy food, but when do you start shifting onto like more adult food?
So from puppy to adult.
Yeah.
So this is a really interesting question, because in my mind, there shouldn't be any difference in food, whether you're feeding a puppy or a senior. The food itself should stay the same.
Yeah.
It should be the amounts that change.
I see.
Yeah, so you should still be able to feed the same food to your 6, 7, 8-week-old puppy that you're feeding your 12, 13-year-old dog, depending on health conditions. There's lots of different things that might alter that.
And if it's like a fussy breed as well.
Potentially, but I'm thinking more along the lines of, okay, so you've got an older dog that might not be tolerating high fats the same way a puppy can tolerate high fats, for example.
Yeah.
So, but the actual food itself should still really be the same, should be fresh food, real food. The amounts of bone and offal and fat, fatty proteins, that sort of thing can change, but it will still be fresh, raw food.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, we would raise our toddlers on our food, would just be a different amount. You'd put a smaller portion on whereas it's almost the reverse of a puppy. You put a bigger portion on a puppy's plate and a smaller portion on a senior's plate.
Yeah.
So it's really about feeding a good food and then altering the amounts that you're feeding. So and then you'd probably feed, again, it depends on the breed, and depends on the size of dog. Some people will get their dog from their breeder and they will be feeding 4 small meals a day. Other probably very highly active breeds, that would probably be, or they might come already on 3 meals a day. And then you would feed that probably up to around 6 months. And then you would start to go on to about 2 meals a day. And even 1 meal a day. Some dogs do really, really well on just 1 meal a day. Fussy eaters, larger breeds, that sort of thing. Or just dogs that are not massively foodie. There's a lot to be said for resting the digestive system for a whole 24 hours. Fasting is quite a big thing at the moment. And in carnivores, that works really nicely because they would have their meal, be lovely and full and rest and digest and get all the goodness they need, then rest their organs, rest their liver, kidneys, spleen, etc. until the next meal. So it's really, my dog will probably kill me if I fed him once a day.
Oh my God. If I did that to Harley and Poppy, I get the look. They will come like, excuse me, dinner time is now.
Yeah. But you would get used to it. And there's also a lot to be said about feeding at different times of the day as well. So there is just so much we can talk about and cover. So if you want to drop us an email, if you've got any questions, where can they email us?
Yeah, send it into Sid and Lola podcast at outlook.com.
Amazing. Social media. So Instagram is Sid and Lola Raw. We've got Facebook, Sid and Lola Natural Pet Shop, and also Sid and Lola's Grooming Salon. So please take a look, give us a follow. You can listen to us on
Spotify. You can listen to us on YouTube. And
social media.
Yep, social media. We'll put the links on there so you can listen to us.
Amazing.
And we've obviously got our first intro episode out. So if you want to go back and listen to that, and then join us on this one, listen to Jeff. Jeff's alter ego. Jeff on the weekend.
Fantastic.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Stick with us and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.